Hiya. I wanted to talk about dieting and maybe share some very simple guidelines when it comes to dieting and helping with the fat loss side of things. Not necessarily dieting for muscle building because they're slightly different things. But let's look at it from a dietary point of view. If you're looking to lose weight, of course you want to reduce your calories. And a lot of people, when we go through the plans and we have a look at, what they're currently eating, we'll find that, most of the time, their food is based on high glycemic stuff, and it's, very rewarding to eat. So things like biscuits, cakes, snacks, frappuccinos, that sort of stuff as well, Costa coffees, that type of stuff, which is all things is very calorie dense. So in a small block of area, there's a lot of calories. So what does that do to the actual body? When the food goes in, the body it takes a little bit of time to process that. So you can overeat very quickly those things. You can have one biscuit and before you know you've had 10, and then 20 minutes later you're full. That's when you're full, because it took that time for the system to understand and kind of break the food down and things like this. So if you were to have just foods that are they're low in calorie but high in density. So for example, spinaches, which can fill big plates, but by the time you start eating, your stomach fills up and it says, oh, I kind of had enough. Then you'll find that you won't overeat as much. Also, reducing carbohydrates, like high glycemic carbohydrates, helps a lot because it stops cravings. It stops signaling the brains that you want something else. So the way it works, for example, if you was to eat protein, which is still satisfying for the body, protein takes that little bit longer to break down, and the calorie expenditure to break down protein is 30% against the calorie expenditure of burning calories from fat or from carbohydrates. Also, not every calorie is the same. So if you are to eat calories from high glycemic carbohydrates, the burn rate of that is a lot higher than just burning, for example, a healthy dish with some fats and protein, which takes you a lot longer to break down. So once you've readjusted those things, you'll find that it's a lot easier. Another thing is to include fibers. Fibers is something that makes you feel quite good, quite full. It cleans the body out, and again, it covers the stomach and says, it sends the right signal to say that it's full. And also, it's very nutrient rich. So that's the other thing, is to make sure that you eat food that actually contains some nutrition, so that your body can give you longer term energy. I mean, the other thing is, obviously, dieting is tricky for people because it's also a very social thing. It becomes emotional. We look for food for comfort and that type of stuff. So, in that case, obviously, it's also a switch of focus and mindset where we're looking for reward, in our day, not necessarily from a pizza, but maybe other things we may enjoy. So it is also a question of finding perhaps something to take your mind away from constantly wanting to eat. Some people have actually asked regarding to sugar-free drinks and that type of stuff. Calorifically, there's no problem to have those as well, and they satisfy that kind of need to want to eat something else. But if you're a person that by having that it triggers the desire to go and have something sweet, then perhaps it's not the best choice. But some people enjoy soda, and also that helps to bring the cravings down. Now, to be honest, there is so much to talk about on this, and all I wanted to do is just introduce the subject. And again, if you have more questions or anything like that, we've got full diet plans, we've got lots of information and support to try and help out with these things. Thank you very much.